Hello my colorful creatives, my name is Heather and welcome once again to the Myth Rose channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how I dyed all these tights. I start out by washing all the fabric I'm gonna dye. Duh. I only use a little bit of soap because I don't want any residue. And I use Dawn instead of fancy dyeing detergents to get rid of any grease or oils. Salt helps the dye stick somehow, so I throw a bunch of that in there. I mix my dye by filtering it through a coffee filter. This gets rid of any freckles from other colors that are used to make up that color. Mostly these are called fuchsia freckles because they're bright pink and show up when you do different colors like purples and blues. It's not so important when the dye itself is bright pink, but I do it anyways just in case. If you're doing this as well, you'll want a sturdy pair of rubber gloves, one meant for working with solvents. I went through quite a few pairs of kitchen rubber gloves before I realized that this stuff eats through them. Now, I was trying to save on water for this project, and I didn't really care if they didn't dye totally evenly. If you want an even dye with this amount of fabric, you're gonna need a lot more water. Think of if that amount of fabric was a fish and you needed to transport that fish, how much water would that fish need? Not enough to live in, just enough to swim around in for the day and not die. Speaking of swimming around, you're gonna wanna mix up your fabric, massage it, do whatever, keep it moving as much as possible. Then we add what's called a mordant. The one we use for this kind of dye is called soda ash. I got a 50-pound bag for $25 from a pool store, or was it $50 for a 25-pound bag? I don't know. It was a lot for way less than I was paying at the dyeing website. Anyways, after about half an hour of mixing and massaging the fabric in the dye bath, you add the mordant. And then you're back to mixing and massaging with the mordant. Because even if your dye is super even, once you mix that stuff in, it can mess it up again. And then about half an hour after that, you rinse. And rinse, and rinse, and rinse, and rinse. And repeat and rinse again. If you follow the instructions as written, you're supposed to rinse in cold water until the water runs clear. Then you wash twice with hot water. And I had to wash these in 3 separate loads because the colors were too different. The color will bleed everywhere on the first wash, so you have to do like colors with like color. And again, if you're following the written instructions, you do them all separately. Dyeing fabrics at home or on an industrial scale requires a lot of resources and creates a lot of waste. According to Chemical and Engineering News, it takes about 200 liters of water to dye 1 kilogram of fabric. This is in addition to the water that was used to create that fabric in the first place. 400 tons of a toxic chemical called aniline escapes from manufacturing facilities using synthetic indigo every year. It ends up in wastewater, on workers, and in the air, and 1/3 of it stays on the dyed item and goes to stores. And that item is blue jeans. For these reasons and more, I will no longer be dyeing my own fabric, and once I run out of my current supplies, I will not be buying any more. Look out for a future video about the facts of industrial dyeing and its impact on the environment. I was planning to dance for the end of this video to show off the final product, but my back spasmed that day, so here I am doing a bunch of exercises to try and fix it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and sew you later.